Hello students, welcoming all the third semester BBA students for the subject marketing session 26. In today's session, we are going to study in detail about the distribution and promotion strategy. In the last class, we already dealt with the introduction and the importance of distribution channels, and today's session we are going to study in detail as to the types of channels for consumer goods. So today's content will talk about the distribution strategy, the channel functions, and the marketing channels that is available for consumer products. So what is distribution strategy? Distribution strategy involves two elements. One is distribution channel and the second one physical distribution. Distribution channel, as we already studied in the last class, it's a path or the way through which products reach the hands of the consumers from the producers. And the physical distribution involves the actual movement of products from the producer to the consumers. So in physical distribution, it's actually talking more about the transportation and the warehousing. In distribution strategy, we all know is the largest expense. In fact, to be specific, the third largest expense for most businesses. And therefore, they would like to keep it as simple and as optimum as possible. So with the right distribution channel and with the right physical distribution, I think these expenses can be reduced and the company could generate more profits. Coming to the next concept, that is, the channel members add value to a product by performing certain channel activities expertly. What are the functions that they perform? First being the marketing. They also help in packaging of the goods. They also in turn help in the financial parts. They store the goods. Otherwise, all the storage points will have to be taken care by the producers. They also do the right delivery to the right customers. They help you in merchandising or selling the goods. And in fact, the another function that they perform very efficiently is personal selling. So let's go to the next concept, being the channel functions. So these are the few functions listed below: information, promotion, contact matching, negotiating with the customers, physical distribution, and financing and risk taking. So let's start with the first function that the channel performs, is providing marketing information. We know information is the lifeblood to any firm. So having the right information at the right time will help the company in a lot many ways. So this kind of marketing information can be provided by the channel. They give you information as to what are their needs, what are the wants of the consumers. They would also give you more needs in terms of the right product to be manufactured with the right features. So through the marketing research done by the distribution channels, they give abundant information to the organization. Second function that they perform is promoting the products. Promotion of a product is rather very expensive task. And if all this expenses is taken only by a manufacturer, that in turn will be very, very expensive for them. Now that expenses can be actually shared when the retailers take up a small amount of promotion. So they can do a large portion of your promotional responsibilities, and they can help you in selling the product. So they also help you, or they also help the producers in promoting the products. The third function performed by the channel is contact matching. Contact matching here signifies that the matching between the seller and the buyer. The seller would be at one place and the buyers are at couple of places. Now this matching between the seller and buyer can be done by the channel members. It could be either the wholesalers or the retailers or the agents or the dealers. So they match or they bring in connection between the manufacturer and the consumers. The next function that they perform is negotiating with the customers. The customers would want a product at a particular prices, and the manufacturer would have it at a different price. Now this negotiation that happens between the manufacturer and the consumers, the middlemen will try to negotiate and bring to a common point. So different prices are paid by the wholesaler, retailer, and consumers based on this negotiation. The next point or the next aspect or function that the channel performs is physical distribution. So distributing the goods physically or transporting the goods or movement of goods from one place to another. Had the producer to do all the physical distribution, it would again cost him million of dollars. But because of the right distribution channels, the physical distribution is done at a very reasonable rates by the distribution channels. And not to forget the last aspect of the channel functions, that is financing and risk taking. Through the help of the channel members, the company can actually avoid abundant amount of risk, and also get certain kind of help in terms of finance. So moving products through channel cost money, and this money is actually borne by both the wholesalers and the retailers. So the consumers also get the product at a reasonable price, and they also assume your risk involved. So these two elements are more important, because finance and risk both are a very integral part of any business. So through the right distribution channels, you can achieve these both objectives. That is, you can get more finance and your risk is also shared. So coming to the actual part of today's discussion, the marketing channels available for consumer goods. As a diagram signifies here, there are 4 basic channels: direct channel, retailer channel, wholesaler channel, and agent or broker channel. Let's start with the first channel, direct channel. A channel that exists between the producers and the consumers. A retailer channel, there's a middleman in terms of retailer in between the producer and the consumer. Wholesaler channel, you have the producer and the consumer, and you also have a retailer, but one additional channel member here is added, is the wholesaler. And then the last one, the agent broker channel, where the producer and the consumer, there's a link of retailers, wholesalers, and agents or brokers. Let's start understanding each one of them in detail. The first channel is manufacturer to consumer, which is also called as direct selling. This is termed as the shortest and the simplest channel, because there are no middlemen in between. There is no middleman between the producer and the consumer. The products sell directly to the customers through door-to-door salesmen, direct mail, or they have their own retail stores. They do not make their products available at any other outlets. This kind of channel is generally used for selling shoes, clothes, books, etc. This is very fast and very economical channel, because you are reducing the middleman's margin. And the next aspect of this channel is, these expert services of middlemen are not available, so that could be a disadvantage. And obviously, since it is there is no middleman in between, all the investment has to be done by the manufacturer alone, and that's why large investment is required for this kind of distribution channel. Going to the second one, the second distribution channel is manufacturer to retailer and retailer to consumer. In this channel, we observe that the manufacturer sells to one or more retailers who sell the products to the final consumer. This channel is very popular when retailers are big and they buy in large quantities. We observe this kind of channel in departmental stores or supermarkets, etc. Generally, this kind of channel is used for distribution of consumer durables and products of high value like automobiles, home appliances, etc. It relieves the manufacturer of the burden of selling and provides control over distribution, because manufacturer, otherwise in the last channel that we observed, the entire selling responsibility is in the hands of the manufacturer. Here you can slightly reduce the burden and hand it over to the retailers, who will distribute the products to the final consumers. Next, we study the third channel, the manufacturer to wholesaler, retailer, and the consumer. This is somewhat like a traditional or the normal channel that we observe in today's day market. This is suitable for most of the product, in fact, where producers have limited finance and they have a narrow product line, and the channel is used in the case of consumer durables which are not subject to frequent changes in fashion. Certain products have a longer life cycle, and they don't require frequent changes or additions or deletions. So for those kind of products, this kind of channel is most suitable. And the last one, the manufacturer to the agent to the wholesaler, and then the wholesaler will distribute it to the retailer, and then the retailer will give it to the final consumer. As we all know, this seems to be the longest channel, because the product will change hands from the manufacturer, it goes to the agent, then the agent will select the wholesalers, then he gives the products to the wholesalers, again the wholesaler selects the retailers, and the retailer in fact to the final consumers. So there's a long chain of distribution channel over here. The producer hands over the entire output to the agent who sells them to the wholesalers, and this chain goes on. This channel is widely used in the case of cloth industry, and this is the most used channel when you want your goods to be widely distributed to every nook and corner of the entire country. So if you want a wider distribution of a product, this is the best channel that the company can adopt. So with this, we complete with today's class of understanding the various channels available for consumer goods, and in next class we would study more in depth about the other concepts in distribution channel. Thank you very much.